Hi everyone, in this video, I'm gonna talk about mindfulness and how it has changed in the way I think and feel at the moment. For some reasons, I completely stopped doing mindfulness practices for the last couple of years, and I noticed that my life slowly went downhill since then. But I am getting back on track. I am doing some mindful practices such as meditation I do this consistently right now for like 30 minutes every day, including just like being happy, feeling abundant, and just feel the gratitude. I remember many years ago when I did the mindfulness practices, I always tried to skip gratitude. Whenever I would meditate, I would just meditate about abundance and success, and that's great, but I also have to work on like be grateful for the things that I do have in my life right now, which I forget sometimes because yeah, it's complicated. um but I can, yeah, this video is not going to be anything about how to meditate or anything. It's more about what I think about it. I'm just gonna tell you my experience about the mindfulness. I think I did start doing mindfulness practices like 2 weeks ago, and I've noticed that I think in a different way now, and I feel in a different way now. I used before that before that, when my life went downhill, I would just be so pessimistic about the future. And I am not so pessimistic about the future anymore, not as much as I used to be. It comes a little bit once in a while, but for the most part, I noticed that I just feel so much more optimistic about the future now. I don't feel so worried about the future now. And it all comes down to me just meditating every day consistently for 30 minutes every day. And wow, it really did regulate my emotions. I feel more stabilized. My emotions is not like all over the place anymore. It's more like I am so calm for the most of the time. I don't overthink as much as I used to, where before I was like so worried about the future and oh my god, I felt like a failure in so many ways. And I do remember that in one of my first videos that I made and posted on YouTube, where I was talking about being 30 and how my life is right now. And I looked back at that video and I noticed that okay, I forgot to say that that video was before I started meditating and before I did all the mindfulness practices. I noticed that I noticed some insecurities in myself in that video. It's very hard to explain, but I just felt I noticed that my energy was so insecure in that video. I think I did delete that video now because I'm not that same person anymore. you know, I joke that sometimes, like I'm not the same person I was 5 minutes ago. But yeah, I just noticed that I was so insecure in that video. And I was like, damn. So insecure in that video. And it's crazy that I can notice things like that. The person I was before and the person that I am after. Yeah. There was something else I want to say. There was something else I want to say, but I think I will get back to it. Maybe I will remember it after later on. But another thing I want to say was that I also noticed some changes in my face. Like, yeah, I guess you can say that my face was glowing before, but I feel like my face is glowing so much more because when I do meditation, I feel so much more alive. I feel more vibrant. And the way you feel inside is going to reflect on the outside. It's going to reflect on your face. How you feel inside is going to show on your face. I do think that I have a lot of trauma in my body because you can say that, yeah, on the outside I am perfectly fine. but my body is traumatized from things that has happened in the last couple of years that I'm not gonna disclose, maybe some time in the future. Because I did notice that when I started doing mindfulness practices like meditations and feeling grateful for the things that I have in life and feeling vibrant, feeling abundant, I noticed that I did uh, some strange things has happened since then. I noticed that I don't know what it is exactly, but I feel that my body is releasing all the trauma that has happened in my body. The last 2 weeks that I started doing mindfulness, I got 2 nosebleeds out of nowhere. Never happened in my life. It happened one time last year, but I was very stressed and anxious when it happened last year. But I did experience nosebleed 2 times in the last 2 weeks of meditating and healing and feeling grateful for the things that I have in life. I guess you can say it has no connection to you meditating and healing your body. I guess maybe there's no connections to it. But don't you think it's a little bit odd that it actually happened? That I got 2 nosebleeds in 2 weeks of me meditating. Maybe it has no connections. Maybe it does have some connections, but I don't know. But it's just a odd timeline of me having nosebleeds. But yeah, other than that, I do notice some changes in my face. It's not like big changes, but I do feel like my skin is glowing more. I know someone actually told me that not long ago, like, "Oh my God, Susan, your skin is glowing. Wow!" And I was like, interesting, because I didn't say, yeah, I don't know. It was just an interesting observation that someone said that to me. I also feel like my eyes feels a little bit more happy. My eyes looks happier. I can even see that on on the camera. I remember before I meditated, yeah, my eyes were still like happy, but I also noticed some insecurities, like some pain in my eyes. And see, the thing is, I'm still healing. I think healing is something you have to do for the rest of your life. It never stops. You never stop your healing journey. It's something you have to do every day for the rest of your life. And it's a good thing. Another thing I noticed that with the way I think and feel, my mindset is that when I do my meditation for 30 minutes and I go on social media, I notice that, wow, there's so much toxicity on social media and the things people write about and like post about. It's so negative, it's so toxic, and some of the posts are actually rage bait posts because they just want people's attentions. And there's so much limiting, they have so much limiting mindset and belief system. Like, oh my God, life is so hard. I can never get this. No, nobody loves me. I will never find true love. And it's so hard to make friends and all that. That's something I noticed after I do my meditation. Because when you meditate, you're just in a state of abundance. You feel like you have everything in life. And then you go on social media and you just see people talk about. They just talk. They talk from a state of lack, like they're not never good enough, and it's so hard to make friends. I can never find love. It's so hard to live today. Everything's expensive. Like, I get that. I get the frustrations, but that's of course another topic. But that's also something I notice when I meditate. I am in a state of abundance. Everything is great. I feel more hopeful for the future. And then you see people on social media just being so pessimistic. And I'm thinking, wow, damn. I understand that there will be challenges in life, but do you want to deal with the challenges from a state of lack or from a state of abundance? I regret the fact that I stopped meditating for so many years and forgot all about the mindfulness practices. I just forgot all about it. And then I start to think negative and I start to think from a state of lack. And then my life just went downhill. I can tell you that. But after I did my meditation, after I feel grateful for the things that I have in life, starting my day with meditation and feeling grateful for the things I have in life, I started that 2 weeks ago, and I already noticed some changes in my life. Something I cannot tell you everything. I have to give it for myself, but I do also notice one of them is that I notice some synchronities happening in life. I see some like 1111, 555, 777, 222, and it's some small changes that I don't feel like I can talk about this because it's such small changes. But I just noticed that I have never seen these things happening in front of my face before. I started meditating, but now I'm starting to see these things. But also overall, the way I think and the way I feel has changed so much. And I would rather just be in a state of abundance, in a state of happiness, in a state where I feel optimistic about the future, where I feel hopeful about the future. That's my cat. Another thing I want to mention is not really about manifestation. Actually, it is, but it's not really about mindfulness. Is that I actually kind of achieved one of my goals. I've always been a skinny girl my whole life, even in my 20s. I used to think that, oh, maybe in my mid 20s I will start to gain weight and have a curvy body. But I try to be consistent with my diet and with working out, weight training to be specific. And I've done that for 7 months, and I have already gained weight, and my body has become curvy. I think this is the first time I actually feel like a woman, which is a new change. It's a bit uncomfortable for me, but I just feel like a woman now, and I'm like, wow. Because in the last couple of weeks, I thought that I don't see any changes in my body. Feel like I don't feel like I have seen any changes in my body like in that way. But it wasn't until I saw like before after picture from 7 months ago to now, and I was like, damn, there's a big change. But again, I'm only halfway there. But that's an accomplishment that I'm actually very happy and grateful for, and it does something to my confidence. It does something to my confidence, and I just want to share it with you guys. I think the hardest part was actually the diet. Like, oh my god, like I'm on my I have to like eat like 3-4 times, and when I get my fourth meal, I'm like, I cannot eat this. I don't want to eat this, but I have to. But hard work pays off. So that's a little success story that I want to share with you guys. Yeah, there's not so much. Actually, there's not so much I want to mention now. I have basically said everything. But the reason why I talked about my weight gain journey is because it's part of my manifestation. It is something I wanted in a long time, and I really wanted to have a specific body type. It's I don't know how to say it. See, the thing is, if you want something, you have to work for it. If you want a specific body type, you have to work for it. It's gonna be hard sometimes because you have to be consistent every day, and at some point you just get tired. You get tired of eating 3 meals every day. You get tired of working out 3 times per week, every week. But you will feel so much happier later on because the hard work has actually paid off. And it's also a very nice way of starting 2025. But again, like I said, I'm only halfway on my weight gain journey. And I also want to like be healthy. I want to have a healthy body. Yeah, it's I am really interested and curious about what 2025 is gonna show me now that I actually do mindfulness practices. It's also a manifestation technique. You can say that you meditate, you feel abundant, you feel grateful for the things that you already have in life, and when you feel grateful for the things that you have in life, it's gonna multiply. And when you feel abundant on the inside, you're gonna become abundant on the outside. So I'm really, I'm very curious and excited to see how much I have achieved by the end of 2025. And it's so crazy that time flies so fast. Can you believe it, guys? Do you feel the same? Do you feel the same way? Because I feel like time flies so fast. 2024 just felt like three months for me, because it was just the beginning of 2024, and then suddenly it's New Year's Eve, and now we are in 2025, and I'm like, what? Give me a break. I still feel like I'm 20. I still feel like I'm 25 because the pandemic happened in 2020, and then time just flew so fast, and suddenly I'm 30, and I'm gonna be 31 this year in October, so I still have time. But yeah, I think you should try mindfulness. Try that every day for at least 10 minutes. If mindfulness is new for you, just try 10 minutes every day, and then you can expand it to 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour. You don't have to do 1 hour, but if you feel like it, do it. But at least 10 minutes every day. I do 30 minutes, and when I'm done with meditation, I do some simple task at home. I work out. I cook food. I I just try to keep myself busy while being in a state of abundance. Yeah, but there's not anything else I want to talk about. I mean, that's basically why I made this video, because I want to talk about these things. Another thing is maybe you wonder why I haven't posted consistently lately, but that is because I'm focusing on myself. I'm focusing on my routines, like waking up, meditating, working out, cooking food, talk to family and friends. And I don't really want to make YouTube videos like this in a strategic way. I prefer to do it when I am in a happy state, when I feel like it, because make when I feel like making a video, that's when the video is going to turn out great. When you do it while you are in the flow. I don't want to force myself into making a YouTube video if I am in a bad state or if I feel too tired to do it. So yeah, that's it. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment, and see you for the next time.